What is up, guys? Welcome back to Fight Squad, and here we back again with another video, Top 10 Crazy Injuries in UFC. Given the nature of brutality in each fight, any UFC fight has the potential to end in a gruesome way. Some fights stand out because of the devastating injuries sustained during the fight. The most horrific and painful UFC injuries have created some disturbing and gruesome moments that none of us will ever want to go through in our lives. When a competitor enters the ring, he or she accepts the danger that comes with the sport. Mixed martial arts is a discipline that is potentially risky. In an effort to subdue their opponent and claim victory, athletes throw punches and kicks at each other with the maximum amount of the thrust their bodies can generate. It's a competition in one of the most primal forms I've ever developed, and it's captivated massive audiences around the world. These fans tune in and turn out to watch the sport's titans go toe-to-toe. Unfortunately, these competitors' bodies are also vulnerable, and they frequently are pushed to their limits. Medical personnel are also present at all times during major promotions to provide care to injured athletes. Many athletes have been able to avoid unnecessary trauma as a result of this attempt to make this violent, inherently dangerous sport as safe as possible. In several cases, the competitors' devastating injuries have not deterred them from continuing. Fighters are great examples of the human spirit's tenacity. However, as mixed martial arts develops as a sport, we can expect to see even more strange and brutal injuries. Today, we'll look at the top 10 most bizarre injuries in UFC history. But before we start the video, make sure to hit the subscribe button as it really encourages us to make more interesting videos. Please be advised that none of these videos are suitable for the heart-fainted. Now, without further ado, let's get straight into the video. Number 10. Jon Jones toe bone. Jon Jones has demonstrated that being undefeated does not make a fighter invulnerable. During the build-up to their UFC Light Heavyweight Championship fight at UFC 159, Jon Jones refused to acknowledge that Kaya Sonnen is a serious contender. Jones dominated Sonnen throughout the fight, repeatedly throwing him to the ground and raining down punches. Jones' left big toe was brutally dislocated during the first round thrashing as he struggled for traction on the canvas. The champion was able to pound Sonnen until the fight was stopped with 27 seconds left in the round by the referee. Jones would have not been able to answer the bell for the third round if not for the stoppage. Number 9. Ronda Rousey breaks Miesha Tate's arm. Ronda Rousey has the ability to lock in an armbar like no one else on the planet. This is a pattern that has emerged during her meteoric rise in the MMA ranks. Rousey has used the move to devastating effect on a number of opponents, and Miesha Tate was no exception. It just took a little longer than anticipated. Tate lasted until the final minute of the third round of their fight before succumbing to Ronda Rousey's armbar, which was unavoidable. The fight was a huge success for the UFC, especially considering the media attention Rousey received after refusing to shake Tate's hand after the fight. Number 8. Gerard Gordeau vs. Talia Tolle. The Ultimate Fighting Championship was once a bizarre spectacle that matched up fighters of various styles against one another before Royce Gracie ultimately strangled his opponents. Gerard Gordeau, a Dutch karate fighter, faced Talia Tolle, an actor/sumo wrestler best known for his role in Forgetting Sarah Marshall in the UFC's very first fight. Their fight was only a few minutes long, with the two circling each other for a few moments before Tolle charged and Gordeau unleashed a barrage of strikes. Tully's momentum carried him into the cake, and Gordeau took advantage with a devastating roundhouse kick that sent Tully's tooth flying into the crowd. As the crowd chanted for more bloodshed, the referee called a halt to the fight, and a new combat sport was born. Number 7. Mark Hominick's hematoma. Mark Hominick fought Jose Aldo for the UFC featherweight title at UFC 129 in Toronto when he was at the pinnacle of his MMA career. In front of a crowd of his fellow countrymen, Hominick fought a valiant fight that lasted for full 5 rounds. Unfortunately for Hominick, he was injured during the fight and the judges were unable to rule in his favor. Jose Aldo concentrated damage on Hominick's forehead throughout the fight. resulting in one of the largest hematomas ever seen in MMA. The fight was briefly stopped by the ringside doctor to ensure Dominic's safety, but it was allowed to continue to the end. Number 6. Jamie Varner keeps fighting with broken ankle. When he defeated Jamie Varner at UFC 173, James Cross demonstrated the devastating effects that strong leg kicks can have on an opponent. Varner's leg became increasingly unstable after Cross delivered several powerful kicks into the early ages of the fight, eventually folding dramatically under his body weight. Varner fought valiantly in the second round, but was unable to continue after the bell rang to end the first. Cross demonstrated what can be accomplished in MMA when precise attacks render your opponent unable to continue despite their desire to do so. If you are enjoying this video and are interested in more MMA videos, then don't forget to like this video and subscribe to this channel for more videos like these. Number 5. Tim Sylvia's arm gets broken by Frank Mir. Tim Sylvia is a badass. That is a fact that cannot be denied. Sylvia is a 6'8" man mountain who was the UFC heavyweight champion until he was stripped of the title due to a failed drug test. Sylvia fought Frank Mir for the vacant heavyweight title, putting his undefeated record on the line. Mir immediately put his expert BJJ skills to work and had the undefeated Sylvia attempting to power through an inverted armbar. Despite having a visibly broken forearm, Sylvia lifted his opponent and immediately began to defy the referee's request to stop the fight. Sylvia eventually agreed and expressed gratitude to Herb Dean for saving him from further harm. Number 4. Matt Mitrione's eye and shoulder injuries against Travis Browne. With a 9-4 record, Matt Mitrione entered UFC Fight Night 81 in January 2016 for his heavyweight bout with Travis Browne. He left at 9-5 with plenty of evidence that he had been beaten. At that time, Browne was a top 10 heavyweight, but Mitrione held his own, at least until the third round. Mitrione's right eye swelled instantly after Browne landed a right cross, and it just kept getting bigger and bigger. To make matters worse, during the fight, Mitrione dislocated his shoulder to the point where the bone was nearly visible through his skin. This still remains one of the worst looking injuries in the history of the competition. Number 3. A leg kick from Corey Hill goes wrong. Corey Hill's career took a dramatic turn during his fourth MMA fight. Hill was in his third UFC fight and he needed a win at UFC. Fight for the Troops won to keep competing in the sport's top division. Hill threw a leg kick that was perfectly checked as he approached Dale Hart after the start of the second round. On impact, Hill's tibia and fibula snapped and he collapsed to the mat in obvious pain. Despite the cries of the crowd and Joe Rogan, the fight continued for a brief moment until the leg breaks were revealed. It's enough to make any MMA fighter reconsider throwing unnecessary high leg kicks. Number 2. Nogueira's humerus gets broken by Frank Mir. Frank Mir is regarded as one of the best heavyweight Brazilian jiu-jitsu fighters in the history of mixed martial arts. Mir has demonstrated his mastery of high-level techniques throughout his career. Mir used it to avoid what appeared to be an almost certain defeat during his fight with Minotauro Nogueira by expertly transitioning from a guillotine choke attempt. Mir locked in a Kimura from side control, and Minotauro responded with a textbook roll. During the scramble, Mir found himself on top and tightened the grip even more. This caused Nogueira's humerus to break in a gruesome manner. But it was yet another example of Minotauro's warrior spirit throughout his career. Number 1. Anderson Silva leg gets broken. Anderson Silva never expected to be physically broken when he entered the ring for his rematch with Chris Weidman. In their first fight, a well-timed flurry of punches from Weidman caught the former champion while he was showboating, but it was his own power that proved to be his undoing in the second. The massive leg of Weidman stopped Silva's furious leg kick, and the Brazilian's leg snapped like a twig smashed across a tree trunk. Before Herb Dean stepped in to stop the fight, Anderson fell backwards onto the mat in obvious pain, and Weidman did not even throw a follow-up punch. Well, that's the end of today's video. If you enjoyed the video, hit the like button and comment down below. Also, don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell if you're new to the channel to be notified whenever we upload more content. Please stay tuned to another video. See you next time.